Go ahead.
All right. The future is approaching fast. Every day, scientists are making amazing discoveries that will hopefully lead to a better future for mankind. One of the things that we've discovered in our push to become less reliant on fossil fuels is renewable energy. Renewable energy is important to our future because we're always going to need electrical power, and renewable energy means that it's renewable. It doesn't run out. So I now present to you the most important kind of renewable energy. An aerofoil-powered generator, or to the common tongue, a wind turbine. Wind turbines are very important in our push to become less reliant on fossil fuels. All over the country we are seeing large arrays of wind turbines called wind farms popping up, and they're producing huge amounts of electricity. They are very important to the future. Alright, first of all, let's look at our location. This is a map from the U.S. Department of Energy. It is a residential scale 30-meter wind map, and what it measures is the wind speeds at an altitude of 30 meters all across the country. So if you look at Iowa there, you can see in the area we're at is yellow. If you look at the key here, we have a wind speed of 5.5 meters per second. And what the Department of Energy recommends for suitable wind project is 4 meters per second. So we are well suitable, our area is well suitable for a wind turbine. And if you look at our location of our school, we got a lot of space around the outside of the school, so there's a lot of potential in places to put a wind turbine. Alright, now let's talk about the turbine itself. For a lot of this information, I contacted my uncle, Mike Schmidt, who works as an operations manager at Wind Engine Renewables, wind turbine company out of Fort Collins, Colorado. And he gave me a lot of great information about wind energy, so a lot of this information is credited to him. So let's talk about the size. The size of the generator really can vary. It depends on the goal of having it. If we decide to offset the amount of electricity that we produce, we would need to decide what percentage of the electricity we need to offset. But if we decide to use 100% of the electricity, we would need to base the size on that. Oh, yeah. And the towers that the turbine need to go on, they usually are around 80 to 150 feet. So the cost of the turbine. When it comes to cost, nothing is really concrete in the numbers. There's a lot of science involved that's far beyond my ability, so I'm just going to give you this is a basic idea of what something like that would cost. And this is for a 10 kilowatt turbine, which is usually only powerful enough to support like a residency. So this would need to be larger, but the rest of these numbers are about right, because you see we have a lot of equipment that needs to be involved in. And this does not, so this is in the area of what it would cost. And this does not also include shipping and installation of the turbine. That depends on where you get it from and who you hire to install. So though it's costly at first, you should really look at this as an investment, because they pay themselves off after a certain amount of time. Typically, it depends on how much they pay for electricity. It's 20 to 30 years pay off. But there's a lot of ways that you can pay yourself off also, because you decide to offset the electricity. If the school doesn't use all of the electricity that the turbine produces, you can sell it back to the electric company or profit. And also, there are grants with the National Science Foundation and the Iowa Energy Center that they supply schools with money to put up turbines and get the students involved. A lot of great programs. And a turbine is also a great way to get like I said, the school and the community involved in learning the benefits of renewable energy. The science classes can take the data from the turbine and analyze it and learn how this great technology works. And also, if we do decide to offset the electricity, so if we have excess power, we could maybe use the power to supply to the public library or maybe the courthouse or other places in town that would benefit the whole community. Are there negatives to a wind turbine? There are a few negatives. First one being that they can kill birds. Birds Birds fly into turbines because birds aren't super smart. The looks. Some people complain that they're not so great to look at, that they're eyesores and they don't like looking at them. Maintenance. The school would have to, because turbines need routine maintenance. You know, have to make sure they're working properly. So that would be an expense to keep it maintenance. And the noise. They are, when they're running, they could be loud, and that could potentially pose as a distraction to classes. So yeah, there are some negatives, but I think the positives outweigh the negatives. So, and this is a pretty popular idea. There are schools all across the country that are doing this. Of 15 people that I surveyed, 100% of them thought this would be a good idea. So, yeah, people like this idea. And I think we should do it because it, you know, like I said, renewable energy is the future, and I think we should take a step ahead and bring the future here to Minnesota. Thank you.